Hello friends, I am Anindita and today we will be discussing about the stack data structure. Firstly, before we start, I would like to clarify that the stack data structure is not the same as the stack memory. They are different. It is a linear data structure that implements the stack abstract data type. And by abstract data type, we mean that here only the specific set of operations that can be performed on the stack is specified, but how we can implement those operations is not specified. Hence, we will be learning the basic operations that are associated with the stack data structure, and we shall see how we can implement the functionalities or the operations specified on the stack data structure. Stack is basically a list which has got a set of restrictions. The restrictions are that the insertion and deletion of elements in the stack list can only be performed from one end, which is marked as the top of the list. Obviously, the other end of the list is called the bottom. The fundamental set of operations that can be performed on a stack are push, pop, display, and peek. The push operation is equivalent to the insertion operation. It allows us to insert a particular element inside the stack. The pop operation somewhat relates to the deletion operation. It removes the most recently inserted element or the topmost element of the stack. The peek operation simply returns the element that is present in the top of the stack without removing it from the stack. And finally, the display operation displays the entire content of the stack. Now, in order to implement these four operations, there are two other operations that we usually perform. The first one is to check whether the stack is empty and to check whether the stack is full. If the stack is full, then in that case, we will not be able to insert any other element into the stack. So push will lead to stack overflow. On the other hand, if the stack is empty, then we cannot pop any element from the stack. In such a case, the pop operation will result in stack underflow. So in order to keep track of these two cases, we need to consider the two operations is empty and is full. Stacks are less flexible in nature but are more efficient and easy to implement. They are known as the LIFO data structure or the last in first out data structure. This is because in a stack, since we have insertion and deletion happening from only one end, the last element that goes into the stack will be the first one to leave the stack. Hence, the name last in first out or LIFO. Now let us take an example and see the basic operations on a stack. As we know, the primary operations are push and pop. And in order to assist the operation of push and pop, we have the other two operations called isEmpty and isFull. Initially, we have a stack that is completely empty. So the top is currently pointing to the null or the bottom of the stack. Now, as we push an element into the stack, the element gets inserted into the stack and the top of the stack, the top pointer, now points to the newly inserted element. If we push another element, say B, the top will now point to the most recently pushed element, that is B. Now after this, if we try to pop the elements from the stack, since the topmost element in the stack is now B, B will automatically get popped from the stack, leaving only A as the topmost element in the stack. After this, if we perform the pop operation once again, A will get popped or removed from the stack because the topmost element is now A. After this, if we again perform the pop operation, we will find that the stack is empty. Hence, on performing the pop operation, we will get an error message that the stack underflow has occurred. Coming to the implementation of stacks, stacks can be implemented using arrays as well as linked lists. Now, as we already know, the basic property of arrays is that it is static in nature. That is, the size of the stack has to be provided initially. On the other hand, in case of linked lists, which are dynamic data structures, there is no concept of stack size. The linked list representation of the stack can grow as long as there exists memory. Let us see how we can implement a stack using an array. In order to implement a stack using an array, we need to declare the array size ahead of time or right before the operations start. Now, associated with each stack will be the top of the stack, which is a variable top, and initially it is set to -1 because in an array using C, the indexing starts from 0. Now, when we perform the push operation, in the push operation, we have to first check whether the stack is full. If top becomes equal to the size of the stack -1, that means the stack is full, which indicates that if we try to push any other item, it will result in stack overflow. However, if top is less than the size of the stack -1, that means there is still space for insertion of more elements. In that case, we first increment the value of the top and then we store the value at the top index of the array stack. Similarly, when we have to implement the pop operation, we have to first check whether the stack is empty or not. If the stack is empty, it is going to result in stack underflow error. Otherwise, we will simply initialize the variable value with the topmost element of the stack, that is, the value stored at the index top of the array stack, and then we will decrement the value of the top. Now, as we know, we cannot delete anything from the computer's memory. All we can do is simply just replace. Hence, copying the value of the top of the stack into the variable value is not going to delete anything from the stack, but that memory space will be available for future elements to be inserted into the stack. If any further element is inserted into the stack, the older value will get replaced by the new one. Both the push as well as pop operation performed on a stack using an array has got constant time, that is big O of 1. The peek operation is very similar to the pop operation. If the stack is empty, then simply display stack underflow. Otherwise, the value at the top index of the array stack gets copied into the variable value. It also has a complexity of big O of 1. Now let us see how we can perform the array implementation. Let us consider that we have got a stack having size 5 which is implemented using an array. So initially we have got the top at -1. Now if we try to perform the pop operation, we will find that the stack is already empty, hence it will give us an underflow, that is an error message. Now if we try to push 23 into the stack, because the stack is not full, so we increment the value of top, which will now become equal to 0, and 23 will get stored in the 0th index of the array, and top will point to the 0th index. After this, say we push another element, say 10. So now 10 will be in the top of the stack. That means we will increment top, which will now go to the index 1. And then we will store 10 in the index 1. If we try to peek into the stack currently, the topmost element that is stored in the stack will get returned back to the calling function, but the top pointer will not get decremented. So if we try to peek now, we will get the value 10. But the components stored inside the stack will remain unchanged. After this, again we can push another element, say we push 15. So top will again get incremented to 2 and 15 will get stored in the 2th index of the array. After this, let us say we again push another element, say 20. So even now, top will again get incremented to 3 and 20 will get stored in the 3th index of the array. Still no problem. After this, if we try to perform the push operation once again, say we try to push another element, say 25, we find that the stack is still not full. That means there is space available in the stack. So we increment the top of the stack by 1, which becomes now 4, and 25 gets stored in the 4th cell of the array. Now if we try to push another element, say 30, we will find that the number of elements present in the stack has become equal to the size of the stack. Hence, the stack is already full, so we will not be able to insert the new element 30 into the stack. So, it will automatically return a stack overflow. Now, if we try to perform the pop operation, we will get 25 removed from the stack and the top will get decremented to 3. After this, if we pop once again 20 will be returned to the calling function and top will get decremented to 2. After this, we can again perform the push operation. So if we perform another push operation, say we try to push the element 30, it will automatically increase the top value by 1, which will now become 3, and 30 will get stored in the 3th cell of the array. After this, again we can perform 2 pop operations. So the first pop operation is going to return the value 30 and decrement the value of top from 3 to 2. And the second pop operation is going to return 15 to the calling function, and the top is going to get reduced from 2 to 1. After that, we can again perform 3 consecutive push operations. Say we push 25, 35 and 75. These 3 push operations each will result in the increment of the top pointer by 1, and the values will get stored in the corresponding cells that are pointed by the top in the stack. Finally, after this, if we try to push again, we will find that there will be a stack overflow because we already have 5 elements in the stack. And if we consecutively perform 4 pop operations right now, firstly 75 will get removed, then 35 will get removed, then 25 will get removed, and then 10 will get removed. Finally, if we perform another pop operation, 23 will also get removed from the stack. And next, if we try to perform another pop operation, we will find that stack underflow will occur. So that's how we implement the functionalities of a stack using an array.